What is up, RC enthusiasts? Check it out. We have these two fully disassembled on the table right here. No wasting time, you know. No need to see me disassemble these guys. I mean, most people can figure it out. Take them apart, take pictures while you're doing it, or record, and you can get them back together. They're pretty simple, these little guys, so that's what makes them so fun. Today we have Axial versus Clone? Dare I say. But as you can tell, let's start right here. So you can see all I left behind on the chassis are the links in the bottom and the chassis themselves. The first thing I want to point out is the chassis of the Racent right here, the 1/24th Racent crawler, is the frame on this one. For the suspension mounts, it's adjustable where you can mount the suspension to, so you could lift and lower it a little bit or move the suspension front to rear a little bit. And that's all around. Now, I already mentioned how the links are pretty similar to something. But as you can see right here, the tires are bigger on this one because it's just like the Jeep. So if you get a deadbolt or the Jeep versions of the Axials, they come with these tires as well right here. They're just branded instead of this unbranded copy version. And here, a smaller diameter, but a little bit softer sidewall on these guys. Not to say that this doesn't feel like it has grip, because it feels like it has grip. It's just not as pliable. It's a lot harder sidewall. So the big thing I noticed last time, as you can see right here, the ESC looks like it's waterproof. I don't know how good of a job that is right there. If I would trust that, I'd probably go over that with some Plasti Dip still just to seal it in there really good. As you can tell right here for the SCX24, it's not waterproof. That's a bare board right there. And you can do the Plasti Dip waterproofing to this one too, and it'll work. Check out the ESC mounting style right here, double-sided tape on the Axial. And on the Racent, you can tell right here, it's a snap fit to the mount, which is pretty cool in itself. And by seeing that, it makes me feel like, you know, they actually thought this little thing out. But that's definitely a bonus for this guy right here. So 1 point for this guy. As you can see right here, even the servo itself is sealed up and waterproofed. The Axial servo is just bare open, not waterproof, so water will get in there and it'll damage that servo. Now, as you can see right here, the ball bearings inside the axles, ball bearings on the axle shafts as well on the ends, and the brass gear right there with the steel gear. So the worm gear is a steel gear, it looks like, and the ring gear is a brass one. As you can see right here on the Axial gears, they're pretty similar. But I'm not sure if I could focus on how the metal looks like on the Axial one versus the metal on this one. They look a little bit different. These metal pieces right here, and so does that gear, and those guys right there. They look pretty similar. Here's some of the metal shafts compared side by side with each other. The ones to the left are the Racent ones, and the ones to the right are the Axial ones. Huh, that's weird. That one looks bent in the video. Like, it's not bent, I promise. It looks bent when I do this, doesn't it? The second one, the one that's meant for the Axial. But as you can tell, they're all pretty similar to each other. There's little differences, like the Axial one right here has more of that pin sticking out versus the shorter pins on the ball end right there. But they're all pretty similar. And they could be interchangeable for sure. Now, as for the shocks, they don't look alike. That's the Axial shocks right there. And here's the Racent shocks. But you can still unscrew the top cap, put a slight amount of grease in there to get it to dampen a little bit. And I've done that with this one right here, and it works a little bit. This one has a Dynamite 88 turn motor on it. This one has the same size looking motor, but I don't see anywhere that it shows what turn it is or anything. But it does have a brass pinion versus a plastic pinion. Little wheel hexes seem to be the same on both, except for the hex pins. They look way better machined or made on the Axial one, and so do the little wheel nuts versus those guys. And the drive shafts are different. They have a 4 spline on this one, and these guys have a lot more splines to them. As you can tell right here on the Racent joint, the center piece is metal, while the Axial is all plastic. The transmissions are pretty similar. There's only one difference really in the transmission construction right here. There's one extra screw to hold the gearbox down on the Axial one, but it still looks like the same case pretty much as this one. And the other difference between them two, this one right here has a nut holding that gear right there onto this shaft, while on this one it's just slide on there. And it just stays on there. When you close the gear case, it holds it in place for this one. But the gears all look pretty similar. Here's the two cases side by side right here for the gears. You can tell there's a lot of similarities. They do sport all the ball bearings, so they all have the same amount of ball bearings in them for both of these trucks. Batteries, you have a 380 15C 7.4, so it's 2S as well. 2S 30C 350 mil. So this one right here is a higher punch rated battery. And this is Lion versus LiPo. The Racent uses Phillips head, hardware. And they're actually not bad hardware. They're made pretty well. Just use tiny little Phillips head like I showed you this one right here. Those are the sizes right there. And this is from the Dynamite kit, like I said, just a cheap little screwdriver kit, and it's got almost everything you need to work up to most 10 scales. So as you can see right there, these guys have some similarities for sure. But they do have their, pros and cons to both. But I think this one right here, oh man, that thing is definitely controversial, right? I mean, look at that. You could definitely, like I said on my previous video, use most of the upgrades of that guy to make this guy better than a stock one of those guys. But yeah, there you go, guys. Just wanted to show you guys a little quick comparison right here. Breakdown. You know how I do it, guys. I like to take these things apart. A lot of effort, I do realize, so I always appreciate that subscribe. But it's all for you guys, my subscribers. You guys are awesome. People that support me, I definitely appreciate it. Well, anyways, so you guys can see, I got a lot of work to put these guys back together. So, as always, guys, stay safe out there and have fun and go run that RC.